Hey guys, how you doing? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report with your free NBA previews and predictions for Friday, January 22nd. Hope you're having yourself a good start to your weekend. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner. All right, guys, take a look at game number one between the Pacers and the Magic. Now, Indiana coming in this game on a two-game losing streak straight up and against the spread. The bookmakers made the Pacers a 3-point favorite. The over-under at 217. ATS forecast, the computer pick, going to lean with the Pacers here, exactly by 3, 110 to 107, the over-under at 218. The chance of covering does favor the Magic at 60%, according to the law of average theory of the Raymond Report. And looking at the Kogo, it was at 50%. And if we were to make a line on this game, we have it right there at minus 2.15, so fair market value today if you do like the Pacers. Rockets taking on the Pistons. Detroit coming off that was a bad loss against the Atlanta Hawks. A game where they were leading by 18 at one point or something like that, and they lost it in overtime. Now they enter this game with the last three games going over the total for the Pistons. The bookmakers have made Detroit a 3-point favorite. The over-under set at 215. ATS forecast, computer pick, going to lean with the Pistons here by 4. 110 to 106, the over-under at 216.92. Looking at the Rockets, they do have an 85% chance of covering, and that's because they're on a 3 ATS losing streak. And according to the Raymond Report, law of average theory, the percentage play does lean towards the Rockets. Chicago Bulls taking on the Charlotte Hornets. Now, the Hornets a 3-point favorite. The over-under set at 227. ATS forecast, the computer pick, going to lean with the team that's been on a 5 days rest here. So Charlotte going in really well rested today. Actually, going with the Bulls here. 112 to 110, over under at 223.52. Both teams should be well rested tonight. Again, as I mentioned, Charlotte on 5 days rest. Chicago 3 days rest, so both these teams should go at it tonight. Should be a great game, and I do like the Chicago Bulls this year. They've been a bettor's best friend, covering the spread for I think it's like 9-5 or 10-5 against the spread. Been on a great run. Miami Heat taking on the Toronto Raptors. Now this is a back-to-back game situation with 1 day's rest in between. Raptors losing game number one to the Miami Heat, 111 to 102. The bookmakers have made the Raptors a 2-point favorite. Over-under set at 222. ATS forecast, the computer pick, going to lean with the Heat here. 106 to 103, the over-under at 210. Looking at the chance of covering, does favor Toronto here at 69%. And if we were to make a line on this game, we had Toronto at minus 0.44. So if you do like the Raptors, they're a bit overvalued, 5-9 on the season. And now Miami on a 2-game win streak. Boston taking on the Sixers. Again, this is a back-to-back. A lot of back-to-back game situations this year, and this one here is no exception. Looking at the line in this game, minus 4, just like it was last game. The over-under is set at 222.5. ATS forecast, the computer pick, is going to lean with the Sixers exactly by 4. 119 to 115. Over-under at 234.61. And guys, it's amazing the computer pick sometimes. I look at these. Look at that Laker game last night. We had the Lakers on the computer selection, 113 to 106. What was the final score? 113, 106. I'm done questioning the computer picks because sometimes it just amazes me sometimes how accurate these things can be. But hey, sometimes when things doesn't go your way, it happens too, right? But, got to give credit where it's due sometimes. And sometimes the Raymond Report, the computer selection has been on the money. Looking at the chance of covering here for Boston, 56%. Now the Celtics on a 2-game losing streak. Hopefully they'll get Tatum back soon. And looking at the day's rest, both on 1 day's rest. The Kogo, the chance of this game going over the total tonight is at 44%. Talk about totals. Brooklyn Nets last 10 games, 10 overs. And guys, if you go to the front page of ATSstats.com today, we have all the streaks of all the NBA teams right now. You can see which team is losing against the spread, straight up, over, under. And look at this. So Brooklyn Nets, last 10 games have gone over the total. They entered tonight's game against the Cavaliers as a 7-point road favorite, 7.5. ATS forecast sees the Nets winning by 10. Man, that's a nice number for the Brooklyn Nets these days, right? 134, 124, the over-under at 259. Wow. And you can see the bookmakers trying to really adjust the numbers here maybe. 225 is the total in this game. The chance of covering does favor the Nets here at 61%, but looking at their record, 9-7 on the year, and now with Kyrie Irving back, now you got to spread that the love around, right, the ball, right? So let's see how that's going to work out. I always say, you look at all the championship dynasties. There's always been a Batman and Robin. There's never been a third wheel. So we're going to see how that's going to work out here with the Nets. Atlanta taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now that the Hawks Nice come from behind win against Detroit. Actually, I had the Pistons that night, so they didn't help me out in my bet. But hey, you got to give credit to the Hawks. That was a nice comeback. 6.5 point road favorite. The over/under set at 223.5. ATS forecast gonna lean. Look at this. 111.38, 111.85 favoring the T-Wolves. The over/under at 223. 60% chance of covering for Minnesota. They're on a 3-game losing streak, and the Kogos at 67%. Spurs taking on the Mavericks. So the Battle of Texas going tonight in San Antonio. And Dallas, a minus 2-point road favorite. Over/under at 222. ATS forecast, the computer pick, another one. 115.03, 115.1. So a slight edge to the Spurs. 230.13 is the total, so it does like it to go over the total. The Kogo is at 53%, and looking at some of the other numbers here, nothing really to write home about. Last 2 games for San Antonio have gone over the total. LA Clippers coming off a win in their last game against my guy Buddy Buckets and the Sacramento Kings, 115-96. Now they go into this game as a 12.5 point home favorite. The over-under set at 218.5. ATS forecast, the computer pick, gonna lean with the Clippers, 116-104, the over-under at 220.37. The last 3 games for the Thunder have gone over the total, and if we had to make a line on tonight's game, it would have been 7.11 for the Clippers. So the LA Clippers overvalued here tonight against the Thunder, whose last 3 games have gone over the total. Phoenix Suns taking on the Denver Nuggets. Now, the Suns entered this one coming off a win over Houston on 1 day's rest. The last 2 games for the Phoenix Suns have gone under the total. We have them winning tonight by 110-109, the over-under at 220.24. Looking at the Kogo again stands for chance of game going over the total. We have it at 60%. And final game of the night, the Knicks taking on my guy, Buddy Buckets, and the Sacramento Kings. And, I know he has a charity, so, since I'm plugging, Buddy Yield here, check out his foundation. I think it's for kids, Buddy Buckets Foundation for Kids. I'll look it up next time. I'm saying his name all the time. I feel like I should be, promoting his foundation because, they're a fun team to cheer for, right? Sacramento, minus 4 point home favorite. The over-under at 218. ATS forecast, the computer pick, gonna lean with the Kings here, 111-108. Now, hey, New York, classic letdown spot here for the Knicks tonight, coming off a big win over Golden State last night, 119-104. And the reason I say that, Golden State won their last game. Remember I told you guys about the Lakers? And that was a classic letdown spot for them. And you can't continue cheering on that, you get these signature wins. You got to let it go. And, as I say as a football coach, right? The most important game's the next game. And unfortunately for Golden State, it wasn't that important to them last night because they lost 119-104 against the New York Knicks. Now, Knicks, again, going into this one as a 4-point road dog. And we got the Kings winning tonight, 111-108, the over-under at 219. Our line on this game, we had Sacramento at plus 10.4, so they're in a favorite role, a role they're not used to being in, so be careful with that. And we had the New York Knicks as a 1.34, so a lot of value here if you do like the New York Knicks. And the Kogo at 51%. There you have it, guys. That's the ATS forecast. Computer picks for a Friday, January 22nd. Again, go to the front page here at atsstats.com. You can get 25% off all the great features. In fact, I listed some of our best sports handicapping betting tools right here in the right side column. Our top 10 betting tools right here. 80% clubs, the trends matrix, ATS standings, current streaks, odd lines move, printable worksheet. This is really good to have. You print it off and then you make your notes on the side. The SBI, I've the market watch, strength of schedule. What's a team's record after a win and loss? We've got it right here. And the scoring averages. And if you click on here, the Brooklyn Nets riding a 10-game over streak in the NBA. If you just scroll right down to the bottom here, you're going to see I listed all the current streaks happening in the NBA. And you can get all the sports, all the streaks right here at atsstats.com. All right, guys, have yourself a great Friday night of buckets. And as always, shop for value, play those percentages. We'll see you back shortly with another Raymond Report.